Want to do 6 million damage with your melee? Well, today I'm going to share with you guys the best Amara melee build you have ever seen. This is LaserBolt, and I know the first clip you saw, you guys have seen that multiple times, and you're probably saying to yourselves, we seen this laser, what is the difference between this build and other builds you put together? I have to say by far, this is the best melee build out there, and I can guarantee you this build will trump any other melee build that you guys have put together, unless it's this one. Now you're probably wondering, all right, I'm pretty excited. You have my attention. What exactly are we doing? There's going to be a combination of two things. Number one, it's going to provide you with massive amounts of damage, and that's melee damage. Plus, in addition to that, it's also going to make you super duper tanky. So not only will you be able to be outputting that major damage, but you will be able to survive a lot longer. Now, I've seen other melee builds. Yes, they are effective. Yes, they do a lot of damage. But when it comes to survivability, they stink. Wah, 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 wah. Now, this build in particular is good for melting bosses. It's good for Mayhem 3. It's good for Slaughterhouse. It's good for Proven Grounds. And I'm 100% sure this is going to be my main build when the new raid comes out. This build will make me kill the boss so fast, you won't even know what happened. And, you saw what we did at Graveyard, right? And you're probably saying, well, other characters could do that. That's not a big deal. That's because that's the only kind of example we could use on how much damage it does, because the majority of bosses currently in the game right now, they all go through phases. So even if I were to drop all this power into a boss, it still will go into a phase, and it will not allow me to show you guys the full potential of this build. That's what we shows Graveyard, and that's where right now you guys are watching me running around in Slaughterhouse showing you guys the build. Now I'm going really slow with this because there are a couple things I want you to pay attention to that what I'm doing when I'm actually doing this, which I'll explain once we dive into the build. But before we get started with the build, I do want to remind you guys about our giveaway. We're giving away 4 free copies of Ghost Recon for the system of your choice. To enter and participate, it's super easy. All you have to do is click the link down below and you guys will be automatically entered. Good luck to everyone who plans on participating. All right, so guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into our build. So we're going to pull out our skill tree. We're going to be doing everything on Mystical Assault, everything on Brawler, and Fist of the Elements. So we're going to be using all 3 trees. We're going to get started with Mystical Assault first. We're going to be dumping 2 points into Do Harm. Basically, Do Harm, what it'll allow you to do is that every time you kill an enemy, it's going to grant Amara a stack of rush. Activating her action skill consumes all rush stacks, which is going to give her more damage when she does her action skill. Then we're going to be dumping 3 points into Fast Hand. Amara reload speed, weapon swapping speed, and mode switch speed are improved. This is definitely really important for this particular build. You will understand why it's so important when I explain all the items that you're going to need to actually make this build work. Some of you right now might be thinking, why do I need to dump 3 points into that? Trust me, guys, when I tell you, you're going to want to have 3 points in this one. And the last one we're going to be picking up from here is Restless. Amara gains increased action skill cooldown rate. Really important. We want to get our ability back as quick as we can. And since we're already here, we might as well get one of our action skill augments. This is going to be for survivability purposes. A portion of all damage dealt by Amara's action skill is returned to her or a nearby ally as health. Really important, guys. We want to get as much lifesteal as we possibly can. All right, now to the Fist of the Elements skill tree. For the first one, we're going to be dumping a total of 5 points into Infusion, converting a portion of damage dealt by Amara's weapon into her action skill element. This is extremely important, guys. You're probably wondering, why are we picking Infusion and why are we not picking Anima? You'll understand why when I explain the items we're going to be using. This is going to be very important to be able to output as much damage as we can, because our weapon is going to be our #1 source for damage. We're also going to be dumping a total of 5 points into Tempest. Amara deals increased elemental damage. Shock damage is further increased. Really important, guys. We're using a lot of elements here. We want to be knocking down shields. We want to be knocking down enemies really fast, and this is going to help us do that. Then we're going to be dumping 1 point into Illumination Fist. Amara gains increased melee damage, and her melee damage is converted to her action skill element. Really important, guys. One thing I do want to let you guys know about this is always pay attention to the modifiers. So the modifiers say negative corrosive and it has like positive shock or positive incendiary or fire. Make sure you guys switch the elements according to that to make life a little bit easier. Then, since we're already here, we're going to go ahead and pick our other element, or our action skill element, and that's going to be Soulfire. Converts Amara's action skill to incendiary damage. Really important for melting those red bars and doing anything high level content. this is going to definitely be a plus. All right, so now to our main bread and butter, guys. We're going to go into the brawl tree, and we're going to start off with 5 points to Root to Rise. Amara gains increased health. You're probably wondering, why are we dumping 5 points into this one instead of dumping 5 points into Clarity? Trust me, guys, when I tell you, Root to Rise is going to be extremely helpful for this build. And you're going to make sure Amara has as much health as she possibly can, because she's going to be able to do those high-end content and also survive more shots. In addition to that, with the items that we have in our inventory, this is going to be extremely OP. Trust me, guys, you want 5 points in here. Then we're going to be dumping 1 point into personal space. Amara's weapon shot deals bonus damage. Really important. And as you see, guys, our artifact is pushing this way over 3, and it brings our damage all the way to 48. Then we're going to be getting a total of 5 points into Arms Deal. Amara deals increased splash damage and takes reduced splash damage. This one right here, guys, another important one. Splash damage is going to be crucial for this particular build. Once you see the items that we have in hand, you understand why this is important. Then we have Samsara. What this is going to allow you to do, guys, is when she deals damage to an enemy with her action skill, that being her slam, she's going to get increased gun damage and health regeneration, because her Samsara is going to stack, and it's going to give us that gun damage and health regen. So Samsara is pretty much going to be proccing every time we do our slam. Then we're going to be dumping 5 points into Helping Hand. For a few seconds after using the action skill, Amara's arm remains active and grants her damage reduction. Really important. Then we're going to be dumping 1 point into Find Your Center. Amara gains increased melee damage. Really important. As you guys see, our melee damage is getting increased by 200. And this is where all the 6 million damage comes in effect, and you'll understand why as soon as we get into the, we talk about our items that we have. Then we're going to be dumping 1 point into Do Unto Others. Whenever an enemy damages Amara, she automatically throws an energy orb back at them, dealing action skill elemental damage. Really important, and you're going to see how crucial this plays out when you're doing like Slaughterhouse or you're doing Mayhem. It actually helps you quite a lot, and it does more good than harm. Then we're going to be dumping 4 points into Jab Cross. Whenever Amara deals melee damage to an enemy, she gains increased action skill damage and increased gun damage. The main thing we want to make sure we get here, of course, is that gun damage. We're getting it up to 15%. Really awesome. And our action skill damage is going to be really important. And since the items we're using are going to enhance our melee, it is going to be so OP. Then we're going to use Guardian Angel. This is just pretty much for survivability purposes. Now, this build is not like the one where I could tell you, you will never go down. This is God mode. Now, this is a build that's for people who are experienced players, who are new players, and want the best build for Amara, and want to be good at playing Amara. This is the build you want to use. So this is going to be the build whenever you're used to everything, the way everything works. You put this build together, you're going to want to main this build to take it into the brand new raid or any high level content that's coming your way. This is the build you're going to want to get if you love melee Amara. Now, of course, I will have another build which focuses on face grasp as well. If you guys would like to see this build, let's try to get this video to 100 likes. Hopefully we can. And if we do, I'll go ahead and put that build out for you guys. Definitely one of the best ones I've put together. And last but not least, guys, we're going to be dumping 1 point into Blitz. And this is going to allow Amara to do a really cool melee ability whenever she's aiming down sights. And plus, it does elemental damage when she does it. So really, really cool. And the damage it outputs, it's a plus 100. All right, so now let's take a look at our items. And this is what makes this build super duper OP. Now, I'm going to tell you guys, you're going to probably have to farm quite a lot to actually get all these weapons, because this is a build that requires these weapons to be the way they are. Now, if you guys would like any of the items that I have here listed, join our Discord channel. Head on over there. The link is down below, and hit me up. I will be giving these out to whoever does the following. Play close attention. You got to join the Discord channel. Got to like this video, and got to message me on Twitter. Hashtag Amara build. That's all you got to do. Like this video. Head over to our Discord channel. Hashtag Amara build. I will be contacting you either Twitter or via Discord if you guys do the following, and I'll send one of the items over to you guys. If we do get a lot of people actually requesting these, we'll see what we do, but we will be sending out some of these items. So let's dive into these items. And big shout out to Kalusum and also Shadow Reaper for kind of providing not only the items, but also the idea of the build. So here we go, guys. Let's dive in. So first and foremost, you're going to need a redundant face puncher. Now, the reason why this is important is because remember all the stuff we stacked up on our skill tree based on melee? Well, what this weapon does, it converts our melee into shooting, right? So we shoot this weapon, it's like we were meleeing. The only thing I don't like about this weapon is that I have a negative 53 weapon damage, but what I do love about this weapon are two things. Number one, the plus 60 melee damage, and number two is the anointed skill. It says after using face slam, which is what we're using, weapon damage is increased by 300 for a short period of time. So now you guys are seeing the 6 million coming together, right? You're seeing this, right? 300% for a short time after using face slam. We face slam, we pull out this weapon, we shoot after the face slam, it's going to give us a 300% weapon damage. But wait guys, it doesn't stop there. Because then we're going to go to our second weapon, which is called Trick Unforgiven. What this is going to do, it's going to give us a plus 384 critical hit damage. So we land our critical hit shots with the face punch, and we use this after face slam. It's going to give us 300, right? But you're probably saying, Laser, it doesn't make sense. The reason it doesn't make sense is because the face punch shoots the pellets. So what time will I have to switch over to my Unforgiven? Wait a minute, guys. The build gets even crazier after this. Just follow me here, guys. Just follow me and see what I'm doing here. Now, what makes this weapon amazing as well is that it's also anointed. It says after using face slam, weapon damage is increased by another whopping 300%. So you guys see what we're doing here? We got 300% weapon damage after face slam, and then we got another 300% weapon damage after face slam. That's a total of 600 in addition to the plus 384 critical hit damage. You guys see what I'm doing here? That's almost 1,000 weapon damage. It's 600 weapon damage and 300 plus critical hit damage. Now I know you guys are still tripping, like, but I don't get it. I don't get what's going on here. Like, the face punch is gonna hit first before we actually even get to pull out the Unforgiven. Just stick with the video, and you guys will understand the magic of this build. Next up, we're gonna go into our brawler. Now, our brawler ward is actually pretty OP too. So this does plus 25 weapon damage when your shield is depleted. So let's say your shield goes down, you're gonna be getting that plus 25 weapon damage, easy peasy. Plus, it gives you a plus 300 melee damage when your shield is depleted. You guys see what we're doing here? Let's say, for example, you're fighting a boss, your shield is down, you're using the face puncher, you're using the Unforgiven, and you're using the brawler. You're getting 900 melee damage, or 900 weapon damage, we should say, because the face puncher equates to melee damage. So you guys are seeing the synergy here, right? Now, what makes this even better is that this is anointed. After using face slam, melee damage is increased by 200%. By 200%. So basically, we're doing 300 melee damage plus another 200 melee damage. That's 500. 500. Yes, guys. 500. Now, if you add that with all the weapons, I mean, I already lost the math, bro. We're like all over the place. Like, we're like in the thousand mountains, pouncins. But you guys get what we're doing here. Now, let's move on to the second one, which makes this build amazing. And that, of course, is our artifact. And this is called the Breaker. This was actually pretty good due to the fact that this goes more to our survivability aspect of things, at least as what we're getting from it. I don't have an anointed one, but once we get one, it's going to be even more OP because there is a face slam anointed one that I'm trying to get. But the reason why we're using this one is because we're getting that plus 50 melee damage, right? That's plus 50 melee damage. Of course, it's amazing. Now, what ties this whole build together and what's going to make sense for you guys right now is when we talk about the artifact. Because the artifact is the white elephant, and you have to make sure you get the white elephant. The white elephant is super important. Melee attacks have a 30% chance to attach a sticky bomb, a sticky icky. So we're going to be attaching a sticky bomb when we're shooting. What is that? Our face puncher. So basically, when we shoot our face puncher, it's going to be attaching stickies to people, making people sticky icky. And once we do the swappy whoppy, we're going to be able to do that damage. So hear me out, guys. This is what we're doing. We're shooting our face puncher. We're attaching little pellets to the enemy. And after we're attaching the pellets, we're switching over to our Unforgiven, which those pellets that are attached are going to blow up and increase the critical hit damage and increase the weapon damage because we're doing this after our face slam. Now you see the whole build coming together. Now you guys are understanding where we're getting this 600 damage from. That is because we're pairing everything together, and the synergy is so beautiful for this build because you're going to be doing a ton of damage and have a lot of survivability. Now, in addition to that, if that wasn't enough, if the damage wasn't enough to keep you guys happy, our white elephant is going to allow us to, all melee attacks return a portion of the damage dealt as health. So basically, every time you're shooting your gun, you're going to be getting health back because your gun is doing melee damage. This is just insane, guys. I mean, I got to drop the mic on that one, boys. This is the best melee build out there by far. Anybody who says they have a better melee build, I want to hear it. I want to see some pictures. Hit me up on Discord. I want to know why your build is better, and I need to see some proof. I need some proof. Send me some video proof on why this build is better. I want to know, boys. Hit me up on Discord. There you guys have it. That is how the build's put together. That is the stuff that you're going to need. If you need any of these items, once again, 3 steps. Make sure you like the video. Number 2, hit me up on Discord. Number 3, hit me up on Twitter with hashtag Amara Build. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll let the rest of the video roll out, and I will catch you guys later.